I'm going to show everyone the proper way to mix Ardex WA Epoxy Grout. First thing you want to do is take the protective tape off of the unit. And it comes in two parts. Part A is here in the bottom, that's your resin. Part B comes in a separate little container right on top of part A. And it's secured so that it doesn't come loose during shipping with some tape. And honestly, the tape is going to be the most difficult part of this entire process because sometimes it doesn't want to come off. So, what I'm going to do before I get myself all sticky here is put on some nice latex gloves. Now what is going on here is part A in the bottom is our resin. It's all going to be the same color no matter what color unit you get. Part B on top has got the hardener and the pigment in it. So the most important part of this entire process, really, for color consistency and to keep everything consistent as far as the chemistry and the technology inside of this product, is to get 100% or as close to 100% of the part B into the part A. The way I'm going to do that right now is with a margin trowel. I've seen people do it with like a spatula for cooking or something. You can really scrape it out nicely then. But we'll just make sure we do a nice job of getting as much of this material out of part B into part A, because as we said before, all of our hardener, chemistry, and pigment is going to be in the top part B unit. I'm going to do a really good job of scraping this out. And by the time it's all said and done, your part B should look a little something like this. It's almost completely empty. Just do the best job that you can. Now we're going to begin to incorporate part B and part A together using the margin trowel. Now we don't recommend a hand mix. This is just to kind of get everything started. We're going to actually use a power mixer here in a second to get everything mixed in. We just want to make sure that we're incorporating by hand a good majority of the pigment and the hardener into the part A. So it's sort of tough to do this particular step with a power mixer, just kind of getting everything mixed in a little bit, so to speak, like a pre-mix. And now this next part is what's going to kick off your chemical reaction. So you're going to have about an hour to an hour and a half worth of pot life in this bucket once we put this mixer into the WA unit. We're going to mix it at a high RPM for about a minute or two until everything is color consistent, homogeneous, nice and creamy. Alright, we don't have to go crazy here. Just wanted to get everything mixed so that the color is consistent, nice and creamy. You can go ahead and take the mixer out. Put it in my water bucket. And this is about what it should look like. This color is sugar cookie. It's like an off-white. So that's about what it's going to look like. And get started with your epoxy float. The best way, I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips too, because it really doesn't say any of this information on the packaging or on the bucket itself. But your best bet, being that I have a really small area here, I'm not going to do it, but you want to get all of this out of the bucket as soon as possible. This chemical reaction's already started, and you're going to notice in about an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours sometimes. But that's about the maximum amount of time you're going to have in this bucket. What I would suggest you do to extend your working time is to take out of the bucket all of your material as soon as it's mixed. make little piles. If you're doing a floor, make little piles, you know, working your way back on the floor. If you're doing a wall, you might want to take a piece of scrap tile, make little piles on the tile. Basically, you're going to prolong your pot life and your working time of this material just by getting it out of the bucket, because that chemical reaction tends to want to speed up when it sits inside that plastic. But getting it out of the bucket for some reason really helps. Also, another tip, unlike a cementitious grout or a Portland cement based grout, this is 100% solids epoxy. What that basically means is that it's going to be impenetrable. When this stuff is completely cured, it's 100% waterproof, it's 100% solid. Nothing is going to be traveling through it. It's stain proof. But what that also means to us is that when we use water to clean up this product, it's not going to hurt it. Traditional Portland cement based grouts, we all know you don't want to overwater. Once this product is mixed and applied to the tile, there's really no such thing as overwatering it. The more water, the better. When you clean this up, I can actually make another video showing the cleanup, but if you notice, I'm working this into the joints. This is going to be traditionally one of your most difficult tiles to clean. It's a traction grip diamond face tile that is usually every grouter's nightmare. But with Ardex WA, I'm going to make another video to show you guys how to clean this up really effectively and quickly with no haze left behind. And that's about it for the mixing process, the application process. I'll be back. I'm going to make a separate video showing the cleanup process, I think. So, I'll see you soon.